All right, this is Rudy. It's November the 18th, the year 2016. I just received my first phone call from Robert D. Neal. He has a BOP number of 15151180. He claims to be in CMU prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. You'll hear the phone conversation. I only edit out a personal name of a personal friend of his as well as their phone number, so that otherwise it will be unedited. I make no claims as to Robert D. Neal's guilt or innocence. I think the websites that I've previously researched, what little research I have done, it was workers' compensation and tax fraud. I make no claims about that. I know very little about the case of Robert D. Neal. I simply want you to hear the conversation. You make your own discernment. Also, I need to say that given I was visited by the FBI and U.S. Marshals, I do believe that part of their strategy is to discredit anybody that stands up for the truth, and so it's very possible they'll be sending someone to try to discredit me. And so I'm always on the lookout for that sort of thing. Whether Robert D. Neal is the real deal or not, you guys will have to make the decision. Here is the phone call, and we'll see where this goes as it develops. Take care, and here's the phone call.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
David Neal,
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call, hang up.
Hello.
Hello, Rudy.
Yes.
This is David Neal. You don't know me except by a big package of stuff I sent you about a week ago at the behest of a couple of my friends. But I just thought I'd call you and introduce myself to you. And I've seen emails coming in here, and I suspect that it's quite a volume for you to reach and discern and get through.
Yeah, I did get your package, and I do have a YouTube channel. I'm not part of any legal organization, and I'm not really all that. I'm not very legally oriented, but I did read your the first 4 pages of your letter, as well as some information on YouTube, so that people that might be interested might pick up your story. But that's about all that I could do.
Well, it's quite an ordeal that they've put me and so many others through. But the hard reality is that's what life is like in the federal system, and there's no basis for what they do. It's just incredible. I've been assaulted. I have been tortured beyond measure, and
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, have you been to CMU prisons at either Terre Haute, Indiana, or Marion, Illinois? I'm just curious.
I'm in the CMU in Terre Haute right now.
Wow. Okay. I'm very interested in what goes on in those CMU prisons, because I do believe that they do torture you guys. I don't doubt that one bit.
Well, the reason I'm here is a very simple fact, and it's in some. You may not have gotten that far yet, but there was a writ issued out of the federal court in Los Angeles ordering my release from prison, and they didn't want to do that because I'm a political prisoner, and so rather than do that within an hour after the writ was served, I was on my way on a van out of state and ended up here. And when I got here, they closed off all my contacts. This call to you today is the second call I've had in 4 years.
Wow.
I'm not allowed to call. I'm not allowed to call out, and but I'm in the process. This entire matter is on its way to arbitration pursuant to a new judgment that's been entered in another federal court, and I'm working that through as best I can right now. But Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I could be having lunch with you in a couple of weeks, because the case is over, and I've been ordered to arbitration, and the only issue at hand is how much they're going to pay me, because I've been declared actually innocent, and I'm still in prison.
Wow.
I have been for a number of years. The U.S. Department of Justice issued for me what's called a certificate of innocence in 2009, and that's stronger than a presidential pardon, because it said you never violated anything. There's nothing to pardon you from because you never violated the law. And I'm still here because these people didn't want to comply with the federal court order. And so anyway, but there's a new one on the table now that sent us to arbitration, and the only issue at hand is how much they're going to pay me. And this case actually entity involves other people, indirectly and directly, including two people that you correspond with, and that are all going to be out of here in short order once this thing manifests itself.
Wow.
I know that you're not I know you're not an attorney. I don't expect any legal help here, but if you do have an attorney you can send the file to, I'd appreciate it. Or if you know somebody that might want to pick it up, because I may need help navigating through the arbitration process. I doubt it, but I might.
What I can do, what I can offer is I simply have a YouTube channel where I try to make noise and shine light for truth and justice. I am a Bible-believing follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, and so I do believe there is a right and a wrong. Will you not be able to call me again for 2 weeks? How limited is your phone?
No.
Yep.
I'm back on telephone, and I can call next week.
Okay.
And I've got three calls next week that I can make, and I'll make one of the calls to you, either on say Tuesday or Wednesday. And but if you can get it out there, get the message out there. You know, I sent you some stuff that's forward to a page. If you were to read that, it would scare the holy daylights out of you, because it's what they do to people.
Yeah.
And they do it routinely. And I was literally assaulted so that I wouldn't be able to protest and go to court.
Yeah.
I spent 11 days in a coma.
Yeah.
I spent 11 days in a coma solely because they didn't want me going to court.
Wow.
And I was protesting. I was protesting the jurisdiction of the court.
Well, I saw. I saw one of the people that you were sending letters to and had issues with was Charles E. Samuels Jr., which was the BOP director that Obama had appointed, and I certainly do not have any faith in that particular gentleman.
Well, I sent you, and when you get down to it, you'll see I sent you 166 admissions that are legal binding testimony from a federal court proceeding where he admitted to about 20 crimes, and on 60 occasions he declared me actually innocent of any crime. And he put that all out there, and it's filed, and that's been adopted in the court that's sending us to arbitration. Well, and it's really ugly.
Yeah, and let me say this: we advocate for various prisoners, and you're a fairly new case for me. And I tried to look up any background information, and I'm not saying that everything I find that's written on the Department of Justice or the FBI websites
This call is from a federal prison.
I'm not saying that everything I find is truthful, but if someone was to investigate your case being brand new to your situation, they would read something about tax fraud and, I don't know, some insurance schemes and workers' compensation fraud. So I don't know all of the details, but if you want to tell your side of the story, I can certainly help get your side of the story out, but that's about all I can offer, you know.
Well, what I'll do is I'll draft something up and type it this weekend, and I'll mail it to you.
Okay.
And then you'll have it. And it's there's a passage that's in that letter I sent to you that you read, Hebrews 4:15. Romans 4:15. Excuse me. And it says, "Where there is no law, there is no transgression." And the hard reality is that the United States House of Representatives never voted on the law that became Title 18 when a quorum was present in 1948 or 49. So they have no law. And so what they do is they have to force you into a plea bargain arrangement, which is a contract. And under contract law, they can do what they want to do.
Right.
But if you try to press your issues to a trial, they have no jurisdiction because they have no statute. It's just that simple. So you can't break a statute that doesn't exist. And they don't want to hear it, and they've been doing it for years. But that's why 98% of the people take plea bargains, because they just beat the daylights out of you if you won't take it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand that. Let me ask you this: the new, with the new administration coming in and him appointing possibly a new attorney general besides this devil Loretta Lynch, and previously to her it was the devil Eric Holder. Do you have hopes that there will be better justice within our judicial system if they get a new attorney general? I've heard it may be Jeff Sessions, although I don't know if that's confirmed.
Well, the news this morning is Jeff Sessions. Yesterday I heard Ted Cruz. If they'll go back to the strict constitutional issues, the answer is yes. And I think both of them, from what I know, would do that. But what's going to happen with my case, and I'm not trying to talk out of school here, this is the largest dollar-wise false imprisonment claim in the history of the United States. And if you get down in the weeds and looked at all the documents, you'd find it's in the multi-billions of dollars. And Samuels has confessed that those are all valid claims on the U.S. Treasury. And what that does is that goes to the headlines. and it's going to force them to do something for a lot of people because the facts are the facts.
Yeah.
And so I'm not trying to flag my own horn here, but Samuel has said, and you got copies of them, you haven't read them yet, that he said those are valid claims.
Gotcha.
And it's not only for me, but I've actually taken assignment of other claims, and I don't even know what the amount is, but I can tell you it's pushing 10 figures.
Yeah, wow.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere out there, money talks in this country more than anything else, and that's going to hit the headlines somewhere. And what you're doing is going to help.
Well, no, the Bible does. The Bible does say it's the root of all evil. Just to let you know, I don't mean to interrupt you because I want you to use your time wisely. But we did have a visit from the FBI and the U.S. Marshals a couple of days ago. I don't know if it's related to your specific case, but something is definitely going on. We're not concerned in the least. They were not hostile, but they did let us know that they're watching everything that we're doing. That's not going to shut us up because we trust in the Lord and we don't fear these people.
Well, I think what I'm doing is too early on to have any impact on them coming to see you.
Okay.
If it were 2 or 3 weeks down the road, that'd be another matter. But right now, I think it's too early. But these people are reading what goes out of here, and in the last month or two, they're letting mail out of here that I would have been tortured for 3 or 4 months ago. And because they know something's coming, and they know it's huge. And so I just need to get the publicity out there and make this thing happen.
Okay.
But we'll do it, and I feel. Let me ask one more quick favor. I've got a friend in the Dallas area, but I just spoke to her 30 minutes ago, and she's a devout. She's been with me through this entire ordeal for 8 to 9 years, and just a wonderful, wonderful, good Christian. Her and her husband founded that church down there, and her husband died, and she still runs it, but she's just a wonderful Christian, and she would love to have encouragement from anybody and everybody about that there's people out there who care and are trying to help us out.
Okay, I understand, and I understand there's probably some limited things you can talk about regarding torture in CMU prisons, but that's one of that's one of the topics that I'm very interested in because I believe that that indeed is happening. There was a man who actually got out of one of those CMU prisons. Of course, there's one in Terre Haute, Indiana, another one in Marion, Illinois, but he talked of torture. His name was Hakeem Abdul Shahid. He was a Muslim, but I'm concerned that within America, on American soil, we are torturing American citizens. It's absolutely horrific.
We absolutely are. I have spent over a year and a half in solitary confinement solely for my communications with courts, trying to get my relief. Yeah. And it's only been in the last 2 or 3 months that I've been able to evolve to the point where I am, that this case is finalized in Nevada and sending us to arbitration. And it's only been by the grace of God that's occurred. And they've done everything they could to obstruct me. They've stolen documents. They have assaulted me. It just goes, if I could tell you the whole story, you wouldn't believe it. It's just absolutely incredible.
Okay.
And I've been here 6 years following a court order my release from prison.
Wow.
But anyway, praise God, we're here where we're at. I've got people that I can count on to support me and make things happen. And I'm just blessed. I'm blessed you actually got the mail, frankly. I was wondering if I was going to be tortured again for sending it to you.
Yeah, no, we certainly don't want to cause you any trouble or get you in any trouble or, have any more retribution come against you. But just to share with you, David Neal, a lot of times for prisoners that we advocate for...
This call is from a federal prison.
Some of them were in the news quite a bit. And so I'm able to read and make some discernment about... what might have happened because there were people that were documenting their situation as it occurred. But in your particular case, there's very little that I can find on the internet about what happened to you. I did find some write-ups from the Department of Justice and the FBI, which I believe are probably biased. I found very little any other external news stories about you. So it's hard for me. I always try to investigate and research the person that I may be communicating with. But if I could get a statement from you, or maybe you just make a general statement to the public on how they can know about you and what's happened to you in general. Yeah.
Let me give you another name. It's called American Benefit Plans.
Okay. Now, can you say that again? Can you say that one more time, please?
American Benefit Plans.
Okay.
That was the largest nonprofit insurance company health insurance company in the country. I built it and ran it, and I got sideways with the state of Texas. and they decided they had to do some things to shut me up, and here I sit.
Okay.
And if you were, I suspect there'd be a fair amount of news. They're going to cut us off, but check out American Benefit
Okay.
Plans, and it'll tell you about my company. It was shut down by the state of Texas in 2002, and I've been fighting these people ever since. And they had to come up with a bunch of BS criminal stuff, and here I sit. It's just absolute garbage.
All right.
But I've tried. And I'll call you next week when I get a chance.
Okay. Think of us as Gideon's Army. We make noise and shine light, and we're not really much in the legal aspect, but somebody may listen to us.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your help, Rudy. Call Carmen if you can.
All right. God bless you, sir. Take care.
Yeah, God bless you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.